Vladimir Putin has ordered Russian troops to invade Ukraine, intelligence sources in the US claimed on Sunday afternoon. Sources alleged Russian commanders on the ground have received orders to proceed with an invasion of Kiev, and they are now making specific plans on how they will attack. No less than 75% of Vladimir Putin's conventional forces are now posted at the Ukrainian border, it emerged tonight. It is thought Moscow will start the invasion with a cyber assault before unleashing a campaign of missile and airstrikes before troops attempt to take Ukrainian cities and towns. The invading Russian force reportedly has the ability to invade and take much of the country. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today backed up those claims and said he believed Russian President Vladimir Putin is moving forward with his decision to invade, a move the Kremlin has denied. The concentration of Russian forces within striking distance of Ukraine, including as many as 500 fighter and fighter-bomber aircraft, is highly unusual and part of the reason the U.S. believes Russia is ready to attack. This includes some 120 of Russia's total estimated 160 battalion tactical groups or BTGs, which are positioned within 38 miles of Ukraine, according to the official. While that figure represents 75% of Russia's principal combat units, it is less than half of the total troops in the Russian military. It came as a Russian invasion force of armored tanks painted with the letter Z, and huge convoys were seen rolling towards the Ukraine border as the eastern region continues to be rocked by shelling, and British experts have vowed to fight like devils. Around 200 military vehicles were spotted in Shebekino, Russia, just across the border from Ukraine's Kharkiv Oblast, with Z markings applied hastily to the backs of most vehicles. It is suspected the markings have been allocated for specific roles amid rising tensions over an imminent invasion, with footage showing the letters sprayed on tanks, self-propelled guns, fuel trucks and supply vehicles. Independent Russian telegram channel Hunter's Notes, which closely monitors military movements, said all equipment marked with Z was seen near Kursk and in the Shebekino region of Belgorod on the border with Ukraine. The tactic mirrors that used by UK and US forces in the First Gulf War, when the Allied invasion sent to liberate Kuwait marked vehicles with a distinctive upturned chevron to avoid friendly fire once action begins. The Ukraine War Report account on Twitter, which posts about Russian troop movements near Ukraine, said numerous videos are being uploaded of Russian military vehicles with Z markings. Our assessment is its friend or foe identification markings used by armies during wartime. Military analyst Rob Lee wrote on Twitter, it appears Russian forces near the border are painting markers, in this case Z, on vehicles to identify different task forces or echelons. It would suggest final preparations are complete. The Ukrainians have very similar tanks and vehicles, and the Russians will want to reduce the risk of friendly fire. It was suggested Russian troops also have the letter Z on their military packs, which could support the friendly fire theory. President Putin blamed Ukrainian provocations for a military escalation in the east of the country during a call with French leader Emmanuel Macron on Sunday. Putin told Macron Western countries should give point-by-point responses to sweeping demands set by Moscow last December to limit the West's role in Eastern Europe and ex-Soviet countries. The Kremlin said the supply of weapons and ammunition by NATO countries to Ukraine was pushing Kyiv towards a military solution against separatists in the country's east. As a result, civilians who have to evacuate to Russia to escape the intensifying shelling suffer, the Kremlin added. Putin added diplomatic efforts to find a resolution needed to intensify. US officials have reported that Russian troops combined with separatist forces could number as high as 190,000 deployed around Ukraine. Some 35 of 50 air defense battalions are deployed against Ukraine. In addition, the US estimates some 500 fighter and fighter-bomber aircraft are within range of Ukraine, as well as 50 medium to heavy bombers. Together, the Russian forces now vastly outnumber Ukrainian military forces, according to the assessment. It comes as explosions shook eastern Ukraine late on Saturday, after the NATO chief warned the signals coming out of Russia suggest that Moscow is readying for a full-fledged attack. Hundreds of artillery shells have exploded along the contact line between Ukrainian soldiers and Russia-backed separatists, further increasing fears that the volatile region could see a Russian invasion. Thousands of civilians have been evacuated from increasingly barraged frontline regions, where Kyiv said 2 of its soldiers had died in an attack yesterday, the first fatalities in the conflict for more than a month. But one British expat said he was part of a small community ready to help armed resistance volunteers and fight like devils in the event of an invasion. He told the BBC, "We are here, we are ready to fight, and we will fight like devils, I tell you. There is a small expat community here, but we will join with our Ukrainian partners, our Ukrainian friends and Ukrainian family." Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for Vladimir Putin to meet him for talks amid the escalating crisis, saying, "I don't know what the president of the Russian Federation wants, but that Ukraine would continue to follow only the diplomatic path." The Kremlin insists it has no incursion plans, but its test firing of nuclear-capable missiles Saturday did little to alleviate tensions. However, British and US intelligence has suggested that Putin has already issued a go order to trigger his invasion plan. It is expected that Russia will follow false flag operations and brushes with Ukrainian military in the Donbas region with an attack led by separatist groups before Russian troops take a bite out of Ukraine or launch a full invasion. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.